All right, it is 11 o'clock. It is time for business planning. It is October 2023. So if you're watching this in the future, some of this stuff may have changed, but it is business planning, so it doesn't really change all that much. So here we go. Some of the things I'm going to talk about today are very easily and accessible to you by clicking on some of the links that you can find in the Resource Center. Right now, I am in RW Town Connect or RWT Connect. All right, so this is RWT Connect right here. When I'm in here on my dashboard, I'm coming over here to the Resource Center. I'm clicking on the Resource Center button. And I'm coming to this group of buttons. So the two pieces of information I'm going to be talking about today are in the Resource Center. They are also deeper down in the Learn Center. So I'm going to click on the Learn Center button. And up here, I'm going to type in business planning. And here is a Sage CRM Basics business planning course. When I click on that button, you're going to want to get the what if analysis. So you're going to get the what if analysis. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to share a different screen that has the what if analysis pulled up and filled in. All right, now this is all right, so I can't change my settings. It's a little wonky, so we're just focusing on this side. So hopefully everybody can see where we're at. So this is the what if analysis for you. This I would recommend everybody start with this document. It is an Excel spreadsheet. So when you put numbers in here, they will change and auto-populate for you. So I'll just take this out real quick. There we go. All right. So over here, this is the agent for this year. She took 4 listings. She had 4 listing sides closed. She had 6 buyer sides. She had 10 sold or 10 closings, and that was 100% of her listings were sold. So 4 and 4, 100, 6 buyer sides, 10 transactions. Her income was 55,060. So she got this from her 1099. This was her income of 55,060. That equated to $5,506 per side because she did 10 sides. Her expenses were estimated to be at $5,000, which gave her a net earnings of $50,060, with 40% of her listings or money coming from listings, 60% coming from buyers. So her net earnings were $50,060. So this was the 2023 data. Now her intent is to increase her listings taken from 4 to 5 and to increase her buyer sides from 6 to 7. Now we will see over here the what if results, and this gives us some numbers, and we got to click here and say that she's going to get 100% sold. And now the what ifs go from the 4 to the 5, 10 to 12, provided she does the same dollar per side. She could come in here and change it if she's going to increase her sales price. But let's just say it's the same exact dollar per side, 5506 with that 5,000. She's going to increase her net earnings up to 61,000, which gives her an increase of $11,000 over what she netted the following year. And that increased her listing size from 40 to 42, decreased the buyer side from 60 to 58. So if you wanted to say, well, I want to take 6 listings and still sell 100%, what's my number difference? There you go. It automatically changes the math for you. So this is called the what if scenario. So see down here, what if scenario? All right, so this is the what if scenario. This is the first thing I would start with for your business planning, is to see where you're at and where you want to be. Now, if you're brand new, you may want to do this other step first before you do this one. So let me get out of this screen and let me come over to the next one. We'll go back here to, all right, so we're back here in Sage, and we're going to click back in the Learn Center. And now you want to go to, I always just type in quick, because it brings up what I'm looking for. The Quick Start Essentials. So if you're a newer agent, there's lots of different tools in this Quick Start Essentials. What we're looking for specifically is the business planning. So there's a 35-minute video if you'd like to watch that video. There's a 4-step business plan handout. There's some quick business planning templates. There's some coaching guides, some different tools here. So you can take a look at these in the business planning inside of the Quick Start Essentials. So QSE would also work from that perspective. If you're trying to search for it, if you type in business planning, you will not end up here. So you got to put in quick or QSE so that you get the Quick Start Essentials. Just scroll down to business planning. And thank you, Haley. All right, I'm going to stop sharing this because I've got the workbook open. And let's share that workbook. All right, this workbook is also a spreadsheet, so sorry that it's a little condensed on the screen. Can't make it bigger, so this is just going to be an example. We go here to the title, and then you guys can download this right from the Learn Center onto your screens and work through it yourself as you go. So you can come in here, and then it's all deliverable, if that's a word. Not, it's okay. We make up words. All right, so that's all it is on the first page, your title page. Financial forecast. This is going to take you doing some homework. So you need to put in, what is your monthly rent? What is your monthly taxes, insurance, utilities, food, clothing, monthly business expenses, auto payment, gas, childcare, entertainment, education. Business plan requires you to do a hard dive into your finances and your numbers. That's why we want to start in October, so we're ready to go for January. And if I type something in here, let's put in 1200. You'll see this automatically calculates for you. And this gives you your monthly total. That's the auto total. I put in here my car payment. Now you can see there's my monthly total. There's my annual total. Anything you put in here will start to add up. Come down here to your business expenses. You don't have desk fees. So we could put in telephone. And I type in my telephone. Boom. I don't know. What is Hurrah dues for NAR dues? Probably $600, right? Something like that. So that's not right. So it's like $50 a month, give or take. And it just adds up for you. Now, remember, if you're going to the convention and you type in 3,000 for the convention, this number is going to jump astronomically. So you got to say what a budget would be. So what is that? 250 or something like that per month. You got to budget that by month if you're trying to get a big number. Okay, because this is doing math based on the month, and then it's multiplying it here. So if you're doing something like a big expense that you're going to spread out, just divide that by 12 when you put it in there. All right. Also, if you have any questions, just go ahead and stop me, raise your virtual hand. Haley will call me out, and we'll get that answered for you. Income and production goals. So if you're brand new, you could put in the average sales price for the market. If it's you can put in your average sales price. So if you've been in business for over a year, you know what your average sales price is. you can put that in there and calculate that math for yourself, or you can use the office average. If you don't know the office average, just reach out to your manager and they can give you that number. Right? Average percent of gross commission. So in this case, we'll just use 300,000. Let's keep it nice and neat. And average commission for the company, we'll put in 3%. Average percentage of commission to me, put it in 75%. So you can expect to get $6,750 out of that $300,000 sales price. There's your number. There's your annual 1099 based on a production of 3.8 closed. So if I change that to 10, it will, whoops, that's doing the math wrong. Sorry. We got to get down into some other sheets. So, all right, let's go over here to the objectives and then we'll come back to the monthly goals. All right, SMART objectives. When you're setting a goal, these are what you're looking for. Specific, what do you want to achieve? M, measurable, a quantifiable result. How do you measure it? 3, is it attainable? Challenging yet attainable with reasonable effort. Relevant to your position and your career, and time-orientated, a defined beginning and end. So you're going to say, I would like to complete X amount of dollars, in this case, 12 months, X amount of units, etc., in the next 12 months. So if you said, I want to do 20 units, there's your 20 units. You wanted to do 100,000 because that is tied back to this other one. So that will autofill. Whatever you want to do, exercise 3 to 4 days a week. Talk to my sphere of influence 4 times a year. Whatever you might want to be, you can type these in here that you want. Clearly, you can come in here and add more objectives if you want to. It's just copy and paste. And you can change that right there. The objective 5. Do a client party, whatever it might be that you want to put in. Right. How many prospects do you need? All right, so your total number of transactions. Let's say you want to do 20 transactions. Boom, right here. You got to do a total number of prospects needed is 500 times 25 prospects, 25-to-1 ratio. So over here, if you're trying to do 12.2 transactions at 25 prospects, that's 305 prospects per year divided by 12 months, 25.4 prospects per month divided by 25 working days. You need to put in 1 new prospect a day. So if you want to get 20 targeted transactions and you know your numbers are different than this 25-to-1, you can change that and that will change all of your math. Does that make sense? Everybody understand how this works? If you want to change your math, you got to change your math and do less contacts or more contacts. All right, your summary over here. Tim Vohar, my monthly income needed to meet my budget, 21,000. My annual income, 25,800. Estimated from each. So you need X amount of transactions. But because this is all tied to this financial forecast here, it's going to be important that you put all your numbers in, because this goal here in the financial forecast is going to come down here into those income and production goals. So you can see that 2150 is just being brought over from this number here. That 2580 is being brought over from here. So you got to get your numbers all done so that they all carry forward into your different pieces of this worksheet. I guess it's multiple worksheets to help do the math for you. This then gives you your summary. How many prospects do you need? Now, this did not take my extra objective because of the way the format is set up. So you would have to make sure that you are grabbing these extra objectives over here on the summary. Then you have your production tracking. And this is saying that I need to have 41.7 productive contacts a month. And am I doing that? And then in here, it actually breaks down your closings based on the prior year. If I had 6 closings, and it's just dropping this math that kind of practice through into the system. So again, it's just knowing your numbers and plugging your numbers in when you're using any of these tools. Question on this tool here, and it's titled as New Licensee Business Planning 4-Step Business Planning Essentials. And again, close this. You're going to be able to find this when you come into the Learn Center, type in quick. There's that quick start essentials. And then you have your 4-step business planning essentials. And then you also have your business planning right down here. And you've got a video, and then you've got the documents, and then you've got some paperwork to help along the way. All right, let me close this out. All right, Karen, go ahead.
Right, so the targets, contacts targets, for this purposes of this, how do you define that when you're saying number of new targets per day?
Yeah, so that's going to be where you have a conversation with somebody about real estate, and they are saying, oh, that's interesting. I would be interested in that. I might have a friend. Not somebody goes, oh, well, I don't care. I'm never going to use you. Right. So you're having a productive conversation about real estate with somebody who may use you in the next 30, 60, 90 days a year.
Okay, and on that tool, you could use that per day, or can you also do it per week?
It does it per day, so you can do you'd have to do the math on per week and tweak it. If you're trying to say, well, I'm only going to make phone calls or contacts 4 days a week, then you can do the math on that per week or 3 days or however you're setting up.
Okay.
And if you're really good with spreadsheets, yeah, if you're good with spreadsheets, you can go in there and change that up into the formula that you're looking for. If you're not good with spreadsheets like me, we just do it in our head, print the paper out, and do the math. So it's any which way you want. The basic idea for doing a business plan is to start with something. And this is a great little tool to start with if you haven't started with anything. Now, if you have a business plan and you like what's going on with your business plan, and there's some pieces to this that you want to incorporate, great, incorporate them. If there's nothing in here that seems beneficial or useful, then you don't have to do that. Stick with your business plan. The key elements to a business plan that you need to think about are, what are your goals, and what are those achievable goals, and have you thought about what the market is doing in terms of reaching those goals? So if you're looking at, I want to maintain the same amount of business, or I want to increase the business, how many more contacts do you have to make to increase or maintain your business? Because we know the market is dipping slightly. How slightly, we're not sure. We also know that the issues with the lawsuits are out there, and that's affecting commissions across different states. And it won't be long before some of our state gets affected by that and see some of those changes coming in. So that's why I said, if you're not reading about those commission lawsuits, then you're not properly business planning for yourself, because you're going to have to increase your units if you intend to make the same amount of money. So from a standpoint of working through your business plan, you've got to look at it from the hard stats that are there, hard stats are available, and then you got to look at the predictability of where the industry is going and headed based on all these commission lawsuits that are out there. I think they go to trial. The trial starts next week for the ones that haven't settled yet.
Tim, I had a question. It's Gay Deal.
Sure, Gay, go ahead.
Yeah. In thinking about the business planning and also sort of, gearing up to initiate more contacts, I guess, than I've been doing. The thing that comes up is that we're engaging in more one-on-one conversations with people and things like that and I'm thinking about scripting. I thought about that after the meeting that we had yesterday and the importance of
Okay.
having scripts for some of the
Sure.
things and discussions. And I was actually pulling up some of the lawsuits yesterday and looking at those with what's going on
Sure.
and being very careful about what we say about what's going on in the market. And so maybe before we're engaging in a lot of one-on-one and talking to contacts, it is important to think about how we're discussing what's going on in the market and answering some of these questions. So I wondered if you wanted to comment on that.
Sure. If you are looking for scripts and dialogues, there's all kinds of them on Google. However, if you also go into this let me share the screen again before I keep talking.
And I guess
Yeah, if
I'm
you go
talking
into
about
the
current market. I mean, how we're talking about what's going on in our local market and what's going on in answer to, what we think about what's going on in our marketplace and things like that. So,
Sure. So yeah, so my recommendation is if you're not a scripted person, a dialogue person, that you've been practiced with them, and this is the
yes,
first time you've thought about doing them, I'm going to
yes,
ask and recommend you come into the Quick Start Essentials right here, like we talked about,
okay,
and go down into, just get past the business planning, prospecting with a captivating elevator speech. Check out this captivating elevator speech workbook and this video. It's about a 20-minute video. Check those two things out because that's where you're going to be your base. You want to have that captivating elevator speech so that you are always speaking to the same plane, the same conversational points, and that's your base. So like when we're building houses, we dig out that foundation. This elevator speech will always be your foundation. So once you have that elevator speech put together, put into your mindset where it's not necessarily a script, but it becomes a dialogue, then you can come down to the handling objectives and you can work on these buyer seller objections. You can also work on these scripting processes for FSBOs and expireds. And the reason I suggest working on the scripting for FSBOs and expired and your objection handling next is because that helps you to answer questions that may be provocative, they may be antagonistic, and that helps you create this basis so that you're not scripted. However, you're having a dialogue and you're prepared to answer the questions in a manner that is beneficial to you as a real estate professional. And then after you've kind of mastered those basic objections from buyers and sellers, you've handled those basic conversational points with expireds and for sale by owners, you'll be able to take whatever's happening in the market and insert, tweak, adjust, such as the commission issues, into those questions. So part of the for sale by owner dialogues and scripts has to do with commissions, and that's where we're at now. So that's again just taking what is in your base and just tweaking it to the words or the verbiage. So if you start with this quick start, you will really create a foundation to work through any objections that people have that are based on the commissions that are coming forward.
Oh, that's good. Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. And again, let me just, where did I go? I'm gonna stop sharing this screen again. Let me share again so that we go through this because I know that's a lot of information. Go back here, go back, and you're gonna find all of this. So you're gonna click on the Learn Center button within the resource, and that
Right.
starts with the dashboard, right? So RWT Connect. So RWT Connect, come to the Resource Center. Once you're in the Resource Center, you're going to come to the Learn Center. The Learn Center, you're going to type in Quick Start, and that's going to bring up the learning path for Quick Start Essentials. And that's going to bring you into the business planning and the different scripts and dialogues. Open house, it's there too. I mean, it's beneficial too to meeting people. So not that there's anything that you could skip over this and come back to it, but get these handling objections after you do the elevator speech. So I would say do the elevator speech, handling objections, for sale by owners, expireds, and then you can do the open house next. Open house is probably the easiest, softest one that you're going to have because those people are coming to you looking for purchase. So I would just do this one last because it's going to naturally fill in with all the others. Other questions? All right, if you guys have your chat, can you type in the chat how many people have a business plan from 2023? Do you have a 2023 business plan? Type it in the chat. Don't all rush at once. All right, there we go. It's okay if it's not in this format. Any kind of format, as long as you have a business plan, is fine, Karen. There's no, if you want to take some of the things that we have and add them or take some of the stuff out, that's fine. If you got a plan, you got a plan. That's great. I'll never say you got a bad plan. Granular, it should be as granular as you feel it needs to be to accomplish your goals. All right, so I got a couple of yeses, got a couple of nos. Will you all that are here commit to working on 2024? Will everyone that's on here commit to 2024? Type in the box yes or no. Matthew says yes. Sue says yes. Karen says yes. Wendy says yes. Faith says absolutely. All right, yes. Okay, now here's the next part of your business planning class. Will you commit to having your business plan committed before you eat your Thanksgiving turkey? Will you commit to having your business plan for 2024 complete before you eat your turkey? If you're saying yes and heck yes and yes, yes, yes and exclamation yes, I want you to get a sticky note, a piece of scrap paper, if you got Scotch tape. It doesn't matter, just some kind of piece of paper, and I want you to write this down. I will complete my 2024 business plan before Thanksgiving dinner. I will complete my 2024 business plan before Thanksgiving dinner. All right, Faith, you're going to do before you give Halloween candy, then write that down. I will complete it before I give out Halloween candy. Doesn't matter. You write down that you're going to commit before Thanksgiving 2023. That's a specific goal. It's saying, I will complete this task by this date in 2023. All right, now you're going to take that sticky note, take that note with a piece of tape, and you're going to tape it to the mirror where you brush your teeth, brush your hair, do your makeup, whatever you do. So bathroom, in the hall bath, the master bath, the downstairs bath, whatever mirror you're brushing your teeth and brushing your hair. And if you're on here and you don't have any hair, I'm sorry. Where you brush your teeth, you're going to tape that note. So take that home tonight. If you do it in the office, that's fine. Stick it in the office, but let everybody know that's your goal. So put your name on it, and put that little goal sheet where you brush your teeth. Does that make sense? Does it make sense why you want to put that where you brush your teeth? Does it make sense you're going to put that little goal where you brush your teeth? Yes or no? All right. If you need help with your business plans, reach out to your managers. That's why you hired us, for help. Okay, so if you need help with your plans, reach out to your managers. If for some reason you have any difficulty getting these documents, just shoot an email to training and Haley or I will send you the steps to get it. I'm going to assume, and I think it's a very good assumption, that there's a lot of good people on here and you're not going to need too much help because we went through it a bunch of times and you all are already working on those business plans. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for taking that first step in getting your 2024 year started. I wish you luck. I will see you if you're coming back for 1031 tax transfers. Again, that is 1 hour CE pending. You will have to have your cameras on, and it is not being recorded because it is CE. So if you're looking for that CE, come on back at 12 o'clock with your camera on, ready to get that credit. All right, thanks everybody. Otherwise, have a great day. See you tomorrow if you're taking any of the marketing classes. Oh, y'all are quite